Hello everybody, and welcome to Real to Real. I'm everyone's favorite host, Alvin, and today, I'm with Gabe.
Today we will be diving into the horror of Jigsaw, as the 10th installment has just hit theaters.
There are 10 of them?
Yes, there is. But before we get into that, let's take a look at the trailer.
The cancer is still spreading. I'm afraid there's nothing else we can do. There is one person who might be able to help.
Our program is a two-pronged treatment outside Mexico City. The results have been stunning.
She saved my life.
You're in very good hands with us.
After that, what happens then?
Your whole life happens then. John Kramer.
According to these scans, the tumor was never removed.
How much time do I have?
Months, at best.
I still have a lot of work that needs to be done. Hello, everyone. It's time to play a game. You all pretended to cure me, but what I have planned for each of you is very real.
Peace came upon me. No light, no sound.
The only thing I have not provided is your anesthetic. But trust me, you will want to remain alert.
Out of all the men that she knew, you picked John Kramer?
Please, don't hesitate. Place a big enough piece of your cerebral tissue into the glass enzyme tank. This will save your life.
So sleep, silent.
This is not retribution. It's a reawakening. Live or die. The choice is yours.
Saw X is the 10th installment in the Saw film series. It is directed and edited by Kevin Goetz and written by Peter Goldfinger and John Stolberg. The film stars Tobin Bell and Sean Will Smith reprising their roles from the previous films with Sivion Lund, Stephen Byrne, Renata Vicar, Michael Beach, set between events the first two movies. John Hammer goes on a trip in Mexico in hopes of an experimental procedure may cure him, later discovering fraudulent scam within the operation. As retribution, he kidnaps those responsible and subjects them to trademark death traps.
Hoping for a cure for his cancer, John Kramer travels to Mexico for a risky and medical procedure, only to discover the whole thing is a scam. John would get his revenge, little did he know, becoming Jigsaw again.
With all this being said, let us take a look at some behind-the-scenes clips from Saw 10.
How much time do I have?
Months, at best.
I still have a lot of work that needs to be done.
It was our desire to make a film that feels more like the early Saw movies.
This, in our mind, is really Saw 2. This movie happens weeks after the end of Saw 1.
I help people overcome inner obstacles.
It needed to look like the early Saw movie.
They were shot on 35. They were scuzzy and gritty. There's our cynical greens and ochre yellows.
We're working with a cinematographer here who has just done a fabulous job.
One of the great challenges of this project was really putting together an excellent trap team. And I feel like we have this amazing team. And I think that the fans are going to be happy. No! All the people that really love Saw.
I want to play a game. My job is to bring humanity to John Kramer. The traps I leave to the people who are disturbed enough to come up with some of these things.
And we go back to what I think the audience most enjoys about John Kramer's character.
I wage war. I wage war against mediocrity.
What struck me was the relationship between John and Amanda. I think that's some of the best passages or scenes.
Everyone deserves a chance. You should know that more than anyone.
It's super fun to be able to come all the way back to the beginning.
We really did this movie for the fans.
The story's compelling, and the Saw fans, next level.
We really tried to pay them back for the loyalty and the fans that have been there since Saw 1. And that's why there's the Easter eggs, there's throwbacks to other. We just really tried to say, you've asked for this movie, we're making this for you.
Saw 10 was released on September 29th and was produced with a budget of $13 million. And as of October 5th, it has grossed $22 million in the United States and Canada, and worldwide has made about $34 million. So positive income already in a week.
The movie was mainly shot in Mexico and was in development since 2021. Shooting for the movie didn't begin until the late 2022 and finished up in February 2023.
This movie takes place right after the original Saw and right before Saw 2.
This was also the first movie in the entire franchise where Jigsaw cries.
Wow, how sad. Well, that's enough torture for one day. We gotta pay these bills somehow. We'll be right back with our reviews after this quick commercial.
3, 2, 1.
With what's happening today with smartphones, everybody has the ability to shoot video. But not everybody has the ability to edit that video and communicate a thought and idea in a professional way with high production value. That's where we come in. This particular program allows a student to do single cam productions, multi-cam productions, short films, corporate promos, things like that. So there's a lot of different things that a student can learn in the video production area.
What I love here is the practical work that I can learn. It's like a non-pressure environment, and I like that about it.
All those things that you're not going to learn unless you do it. You can read about it in a book, but that's not going to help you when you're on set.
This being the first Saw movie I'd ever watched, I wasn't really sure what to expect, but man, I know now. Starting off the movie with somebody getting their eyes sucked out was something, but I kind of enjoyed it. And the way they put the storyline into the movie with a bunch of twists and turns keeps you really engaged. They put a really big emphasis on John's character and made him seem like the good guy, but really nobody was a good guy in the entire movie. But I can say Jigsaw does have heart in him, but he also still does have cancer, so it makes me think there will be a Saw 11. Now for the best part of the movie, the traps. So they really had the traps in one location, which kind of brought it down a little bit, but I can confirm Jigsaw is one crazy mastermind when it comes to these things. A ticking time bomb in the arms is crazy, but I don't even know how you think of that. Some of the traps were kind of predictable. You almost win the game, timer goes off, boom, you're dead. But the trap designs were nothing but awesome in my opinion. But all in all, this movie is pretty good. If you like Bud, you like the movie, but I'm gonna give Saw 10 a solid 3 out of 5 reels. It would be higher, but I thought the ending was a little lackluster, giving the kid all the money. But Alvin, what did you think of it?
For me, I'm going to be honest, I am not a fan of horror movies, but I had to go and watch the O2 series before I made a better judgment for this one. And honestly, I didn't like any of them. But one thing I could tell you is that this one looked like the worst one. It was slow, the plot twist was so predictable, it made John Kramer look like he was a good guy, when in reality he isn't meant to be a good guy. It also looked like they changed his character, and I found that a bit absurd. Knowing the Jigsaw had to survive in the other movies, and for him to be threatened in the ending was very childish. And there was a total of 4 kills. Jigsaw only killed them, and it was very lame. It was a dark comedy for the first 1 hour. It really didn't impress me. From the first 2 Saw movies I saw and watched, it looks like the writers dropped the ball on this one. It wasn't up to standards like the last Saw franchise. It was very disappointing, and I felt like it should just end here, because I only see this franchise going downhill from here. I mean, the storyline was not good at all. Started talking off for an hour before anything happened, with very simple contractions. Poor plot, poor characters, poor traps, poor ending. They tried to make it look like a comical horror, but towards the end, I don't know how people write stuff like that. Didn't work for me, honestly. If this was meant to be the last one, then what a letdown for their fans of this so-called franchise. And with all this being said, so X is going to get a 2 out of 5 reels, and the only reason it's not worse was because I could manage to sit down and watch it. It was unnecessarily long. So yes, it's a 2 out of 5 for me. I really didn't like it at all. What do you think about the traps? I didn't like it.
Before we talk about the traps, I just want to add something. So John's basic whole thing was to, okay, you know what?
Go. You know what, Gabe? We spent a lot of time talking about this franchise section, and the show has now come to an end. You know what, Gabe? I think we spent a lot of time talking about this franchise section, and the show has now come to an end.
Sorry about the confusion there, folks, but don't forget to tune into our next show this afternoon and follow us on YouTube and Facebook.
I remain your one and truly African son, Alvin Sagwa.
And I'm Gabe, the blonde babe.
I'll see you next time
on
for Real to Real.